There we go. We are live. What's going on, guys? We are here with the great Caesar, my guy, my boy Caesar, and of course the crypto otaku. What's up, guys?
What up, Rob? How you doing? What's up, Crypto Otaku?
How's it going, guys? How's it going? Happy to be here.
My
Same.
guys, yes. An
Oh, yeah.
emotional roller coaster of a cycle we're on right now, guys. I'm going to lay out a little bit of what I think, one scenario that I think is going to kind of play out, and then I kind of want to get your guys' thoughts where how you guys think things are going to play out. And I know Taco thinks everything's going to zero, so I mean, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, guys, I mean, there's a lot of different scenarios, obviously, on how 2026 can play out. We have a lot of catalysts that have a cause and effect delay, right? Like a almost like a death cross, right? It's like a lagging indicator almost, right? Like we have these catalysts like a new Fed chair coming in May, which is the second quarter. We have most likely money printing, more rate cuts, all kinds of stuff happening next year, right? But the problem is, I think most people are expecting instant gratification as opposed to delayed gratification. There's going to be, like, whenever they start to cut rates or inject liquidity into the markets, there's like a 3 month delay on feeling it in more risk on assets, in my opinion, right? I mean, you're not going to instantly feel liquidity being injected into the markets in crypto instantly. It's going to take 3-4 months before you start to feel that kind of trickle down, right? In my opinion. But the scenario I want to kind of go over right now is the potential that I've been talking about about an altcoin season for between January and April of this cycle, right? Let me just show you my trading view here, my slop. So just really briefly, when we look back at the last cycle, end of December, beginning of January, right here, we saw this big rally in Bitcoin, right? Now, granted, this was the first top of a double top cycle, right? So my question is, are we kind of just pulled forward a little bit because Bitcoin reached a new all-time high before the halving? Does that mean that everything's happening a little bit earlier this cycle? Maybe we saw the first top and we still have a second top coming in the first 2 quarters of next year, right? And my argument is that again, we saw like December to May or April, we saw a big rally in Bitcoin. This is the weekly time frame, and same thing if we go to say the 12-2, right? We have the exact same thing, right? The end of December going up until the end of May, we have a big altcoin rally. And then we had that double top, same with Bitcoin. So are we just ahead of that double top? Or are we instead heading into this second top potentially? What do you guys think about that? Is there a potential here for an altcoin season between January and April or May of next year? Who wants to go first?
I'm down to go first, unless Otaku wants
No rush in the mic.
All right, yeah. I could very well see an alt season happening between the time frame of January to April. In fact, I think we have a really solid chance of seeing the market starting to come alive, potentially as early as by the end of this month. But I wouldn't be surprised if things were a little stagnant and boring, choppy as they have been until sometime in January. I think we're going to really hit our full stride in February or maybe end of January. And then as far as February, March, April goes, I mean, it could extend into April. It could extend further. Maybe it's lesser of a rally. We've seen these quick, short little bursts throughout the whole cycle so far. I don't know why this rally might be any different. There are a lot of the only reason that I could think of is, I mean, there are a lot of things that are set up for next year to basically inject liquidity into the markets, not just crypto, but markets all over the place. And money likes to flow. So if the stock markets, if you're watching this video right now and you're thinking crypto's dumping, the stock market is up, gold is up, real estate's up, everything's going up except for my crypto bags, I'm in the wrong thing. The people who are having a good time in gold, we're having a good time in commodities right now in stocks, they're thinking, wow, I'm in the green. crypto's down, and that's next to go. Money rotates, it cycles through. So the next thing to get hit is definitely crypto, and altcoins with lower market caps will stand to gain the most. So yeah, I see that rotation coming soon within the next quarter or two. And I think we will see altcoins come to life like we haven't seen in a very long time. I'm very convinced of that. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the cynicism, the cynics in the market right now?
I love them. I don't know. I love my cynics. I don't know. I think it, like we were saying a little bit before this, it's very telling of your age in this game, right? Like if this is your first time being in despair or depression or not knowing, you trusted the process and it didn't work out for you, like if this is your first time experiencing that, you might think that you're in a Ponzi market, that this is the worst time to be in crypto. What was I thinking? But you're thinking that at the worst time to think that. You're thinking that at the lows when it's really the best time to buy. Because again, all these people, these VCs, hedge funds, people who are traditional money looking to come into crypto, what a phenomenal opportunity. Your stocks, your commodities, everything is up, but crypto's on a discount. And we all know, regardless of who you are, whether you're a heavy investor in crypto, you're a degen, or you're more heavily involved in traditional finance, we all know crypto's here to stay. It's maybe most cryptos are a fad, not everything's here to stay, but crypto's here to stay. And we are really just opening the door to this traditional ecosystem. And we haven't seen the results of that yet. This choppy sideways stuff is not, and this stagnant alt market, this is not the results of traditional finance. Might be the results of other things. We can get into that maybe later, but I really think that we have, especially with QE turning up, when quantitative easing comes in, which for those of you that don't know what quantitative easing is, it's basically when the Federal Reserve starts adding to their balance sheet. You have a balance sheet, right? You have a portfolio. All of you watching this, you're holding crypto or stocks, whatever this, the Fed starts adding on assets. That tells the world, that tells bankers, that tells anybody who's got extra capital, wow, not the United States government, but the United States Federal Reserve, the people in charge of the U.S. currency and the inflation, the supply of U.S. dollars, they are adding to their balance sheet. That means it's a risk-on environment. Risk-on environment means it's time to go into altcoins. That's what we saw last cycle. And altcoins, I mean, we had DeFi summer. NFTs were crazy. People were paying millions of dollars for digital rocks, like all that's. And if you think that happened last cycle, that money went to what we would assume is dumb stuff now, things that are went from millions to now they're not even worth like $100 or $1,000.
Yes.
What makes you think the same thing will happen here? And that's not to say that your altcoins that pump aren't worth it, right? They're not just digital rocks, but let's be real. Out of all the coins that we talk about, even right, most coins they're probably not going to be here in 20 years, 30 years. So it's good to think long term to a certain degree with these altcoins. You can't get shaken out at the lows. Don't get shaken out seasonally. But if you're thinking, I'm going to buy, I don't know, let's say SWE. I'm going to buy SWE and I'm just going to keep buying that. And then whenever I'm 80 or 90 and I die, I'm going to turn that over to my grandkids. If you think that's a good plan, I would say not so much. A lot of these cryptos will not be here forever, but that's not the point. The point is they're low liquidity now. That money will rotate in and they will inflate, they will deflate. Just get out once they inflate, right? It's yeah. Sorry, I'm rambling too much. Yeah.
I would. Oh, absolutely not. I would agree with that. I mean, for an example of what Cesar's talking about, guys, like something I'll pull up ZBEC, right, and I'll say something like ZBEC that has real world utility, that's being used, it's being adopted, payroll streaming. That's something that's more of in my opinion, a longer term hold. I'm not talking 80 years from now, but 5 years, I'd be willing to hold it for a full cycle, maybe 2, right? But after that, I'd move. As for layer ones, that's a different story for me because every cycle we see brand new layer ones with more advanced technology, faster, cheaper, blah, 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 blah. Like we had Bitcoin, then we had Ethereum, and then Cardano and Solana came along, and your XRPs and HBARs and Algorands. And next cycle, there'll be even more new layer ones. They're already trying to improve upon it with block DAG, with stuff like Caspa, and so.
Yeah, I agree. You don't want to put all the risk on the small caps, for sure.
Yeah.
There's always going to be that shiny object.
Yeah. And that's fine. Chasing shiny objects for me is like, once you have established your portfolio and you've built a strong base portfolio, and you've built it around Bitcoin and blue chips, and I'm talking starting from the bottom of a bear market. If you can spend the first half of a 4-year cycle building a solid foundation portfolio, then you can be as degen as you want and chase shiny objects, and you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, kind of thing, right? As long as you're not chasing green candles, then you're going to get big red dildos then. So what do you think, Otaku? Is there going to be an altcoin season somewhere between January and April?
I think there's a very good setup there. I mean, think about it. All the normies are going to be coming here soon. They're going to be getting all this free money from the government right around March, or right around the same time we got the free money last time in 2020. So I think, it's possible that also begins to happen again in 2026. I'm watching Bitcoin's order books carefully right around 90K. We have one last chance to bounce. If we lose this area, we're probably going to come back down to that $75,000 range and then roll over into next year. I've been saying this on my channel since the summertime. It feels like this is the perfect setup for institutions to drain all of the wallets, right? They're trying to shake everyone out. And this has worked out perfectly. The only thing I didn't expect, no one could have seen coming, was 1010, right? 1010 being the the biggest liquidation event we've ever seen in crypto, right? So I think that what we're about ready to see is probably a rollover. I've said this on my channel all the time too. I've never seen, I don't want to be a bear, right? I don't only ever come off seeming like a bear because I'm perma bull on Bitcoin, but I've never personally seen a Santa rally. I've never seen a Santa rally. So for those of you guys out there, I mean, Rob, you've been in this space longer than I have. Have you seen a Santa rally? Do you really think we're going to rally in December? I don't know. In my personal experience, I've never seen one.
Well, here's what I think. I think, as you can see on your screen, I think we're going to break down out of this bear flag. And I do think before we get into our rally, I think we're going to come back down, and you can see it better over on my trading view. Hang on a second. I think we're going to come back down, and let me go back to Bitcoin.
Is that a tiger? It was like a toiga.
Wait.
Godzilla coming, man. Godzilla's coming next year.
Yeah, so my argument is that, we are going to come down, and we're going to kind of hit the double bottom like we did back here, right? Back in April. And then we're gonna come close to around that 74K, and then we're gonna put that right shoulder in, probably rejecting off the 50 week, and that's where we're gonna come down to the 200 week and put in our bottom. Now, I think that what could facilitate this leg down is potentially next week, the Japanese carry trade, the rates, if they increase rates, that could be our catalyst to give us that little push just to kind of get down here. Maybe we wick lower, but I think we come back up and then we rally.
Yeah, I think that date is the 17th, 18th, something like that. They're going to increase rates.
Yeah, well, they're gonna decide whether they're going to increase rates. If they don't, I'm not sure if it'll be more of a nothing burger or a catalyst for the upside. I don't know. What do you think, Cesar?
I think it depends on the jobs market. If the jobs market if labor markets are getting in trouble, if it keeps getting worse, I don't care what Jerome Powell said in the last meeting. If we come out and the jobs reports, the labor reports are not friendly, they are going to cut interest rates. He's said it right now. Their hands are tied. And they've even said it. They will sacrifice their goal to bring down the inflation rate if it means saving the jobs market, trying to balance the economy that way. So, and they've said several times, they'll always say the same thing, but it's Fed speak, right? That this is a difficult task. We have to balance one way or another. With monetary policy, we can increase rates or decrease rates. And if the labor market, if the jobs data is bad, but we're also trying to bring inflation down, that he said that's when we're in kind of a difficult situation. But he's after that every time said that, like, he always references that in order to help with the jobs market, with labor markets, that cutting rates is something that they will do. It's not that they have something else they can do. That's the only thing they can do. So if we get that, rates will cut. I wouldn't be surprised at all if rates cut in January. But if not, they certainly aren't going to hike. Anybody thinking that rates are going to hike, I don't think so.
I agree.
Yeah, no.
I'm a little more bullish than you guys because I don't think that we're going to go. I think we could go below the low that we formed on November 21st, but you guys covered a lot of things. So I'm trying to remember everything and just go over it, even back to the standard rally. I want to come back.
Yeah, I just don't think that we're going to get a new all-time high before the end of the year. We'll probably see maybe 100K or maybe a little more by the end of the year, but I just don't think we're going to hit a new all-time high until next year.
Can I show my chart? Is that
show it up? Let's go, bro.
All right. Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out share screen. Let's see. Share screen. Share screen.
I agree with you while you're doing that. I agree with you about Powell because I'm shocked that the things that he says still has such an impact. At the end of November, when they cut rates in November, he pretty much implied there was not going to be a rate cut in December. There was it dropped down like 30%. And I said, watch, by the time we get into December, by the end of November, there'll be a 90+% chance of a rate cut. And sure enough, it was like 93% by the time we got here, right?
Yeah.
I did the same thing too. I was like counting it down the week. I was like, this week's gonna be 80. Boom, we got it. Next week's gonna be 97 on the day. Boom, 97. Yeah, same thing, man. It's all the same Fed speak. If you've been watching this guy for over 5-10 years, you know where he's going.
Yeah.
It's all just the same face.
Before I share with you guys what I got caught up on, I just wanted. Can you guys see this right now?
Yep. We see your StreamYard at the bottom of your StreamYard too, though. I don't know if you care about that.
Can you? You can see the bottom. You can see this.
Your OBS is your OBS is showing. Your OBS is showing.
Oh, okay.
Must be the wrong window or something. Yeah.
Let me figure this out. Hold on. I don't know why.
You're all good.
Your OBS.
Let's click share screen. Let's see if this, and then let's do. I hope this works. I hope this is it. Let's see. Allow. Okay. I think. Am I there now?
You're good.
Yeah.
Yep. So this is something I noticed here, and I made a post about it on X. But last Friday, on the 16th hour, we dumped. We found our low, and then Saturday we were totally sideways. We crashed lower. We had a lower low. Everyone was thinking we'd barred up. And we did, but first we psyched you out, and then we moved up. And this was on Sunday at the 1400th hour, Friday at the 1600th hour, right around the same time of day, right? I posted this, and I said, we'll check back on Sunday and see. Because the low here was, you guessed it, on Friday on the 1600 hour, just like this, or 1600 hour right there. It's the same exact thing. And we're doing the same thing now. Lack of volume. It's the same movement. So wouldn't it be funny if from here on Sunday, we saw a lower low and then we ripped back up? I think it would just be funny because these guys, they're not even trying anymore.
No, they're not. They're not. It's very manipulated, very obvious. A 10 a.m. Drop always. I covered that too. Yeah, we're all seeing it. It's pretty obvious. They're not even able to hide it anymore.
Yeah. That's what people are like. I don't know why the market's in shambles right now. It's like, if you don't know why, you're just not trying to know why. But okay, so here's my theory as to why, first and foremost, I don't think we're going lower than, and we can go lower than this low. I do accept that we can go lower than this low, but I don't think that we're going to go too much lower. I don't believe that we're going to go below this low. And the reason why, and I maybe you guys have seen this before, but I'm sure a lot of people who've watched my videos, they know, is this daily RSI being at this low level here throughout this whole bull market, really since 2023, every time that we've hit this level has been at a significant low, right? It's been at a very significant low. We look at this, assuming we're not in a bear market, right? If we're in a bear market, then maybe we can go lower, but let me delete all these so that it's less noise, less of a headache here. Let's see. So the RSI, the last time that it was at this low that we just bounced from on November 21st, do you guys remember when the Japanese carry trade stuff was like a news headline that people were worried about and they thought that this was going to end the markets? Do you remember what day that was the most prominent?
I don't.
It was November 21st. It was the low. It was 100% the low. It was that day and a combination of the day before and that day. That was when it was. So this Japanese carry trade stuff impacting the markets. I don't know if it's going. We've been moving up since. You know what I mean? We've been contracting since. I don't know. I think it has a big impact on the markets, but the crypto markets are already down so much. I don't know how, but that's a different discussion. You know, we can get into that later. This low here, the last low we had at the same level in the RSI, we were at a relative low point. We basically just moved sideways. This was from the end of February, the very last day of February 28th. I think it was actually leap year. So the 29th. No, it was. Yeah, 28th was the last day of February. We didn't break out until late April, right? So late February to late April, we consolidated for 2 months. We did see slightly lower lows in that time. And this more or less, whether it's 1 month or 2 months, this is more or less what I would expect out of us here. I don't know if we see lower lows. We could see higher lows, but we did see lower lows here. Whenever we hit the RSI at this level here, we stopped right here. We were at a low point in this range, but we did see lower lows. We did consolidate. We basically moved sideways in a very choppy price action for a while, and then we moved up. And then the last time before that we were at that level or lower was here. We hit the low. We did technically see lower lows. Even if we went all the way from 25K all the way up to 28K, moved sideways for a while, and we saw lower lows technically. And we still were in this sideways range for a while, and then we moved up. It was like a month or two every single one of those times since 2023 that we consolidated here, except for one time. There was one time right here where we did basically bounce right off of this level. But even back here at the end of the bear market, we hit that level, consolidated sideways, and then we moved up. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. I don't think that I'm with you, Otaku, and Future. I'm sure you have the same thought. We're probably not going to be at new all-time highs by the end of this year. But I'm not with you guys because I don't think that we are going to go below these lows. I accept that we could go below these lows, but I don't believe that we're going to go below these lows, at least not at the moment. And if we do,
82,
that's 74K. That's
No,
the April.
Yeah.
The one closer, though, that's like 83, 84, something like that.
It's like 80, let's call it 81, 80.8.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right
there's
there.
like I said, there's a huge buy wall sitting right below us right now, and we have not touched 88 yet, and that's where it's all the golden pocket's sitting at 88. So if we can hold that up, we haven't just touched our toes barely, our toenail in it last week. It's being built bigger and bigger every day. If we can get through that and see a significant drop, some sort of major catalyst to the downside, then maybe. I just don't see us going down there either. I agree with you. It just seems like we have one more shakeout left to go before the end of the year. We're going to roll this into 2026 with mass liquidity.
So with that, I actually would like to tie that into another thing you guys were talking about that you specifically said earlier, Otaku, talking about what's it called? The Santa Claus rally.
Yes. I personally have never seen one in crypto, and never experienced one. But yeah.
Can you guys see this screen? Is it back up?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the last Santa rally that I experienced, and I got in 2015, was 2017. So since then, we haven't had a Santa Claus rally. No positive. This one was there, but every Santa rally, I'm with you. We haven't had one, and I don't think we're going to get one this year. This year, nobody was expecting a Santa rally. Every year afterwards, people have been calling for Santa rally, and we haven't had one. You know what I mean? That's how it happens. I have these legend. Sorry,
I was just going to say, I think the legend of the Santa rally actually originated in the stock market, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're right.
No, yeah, it definitely did. But then, as just like anything, when it becomes more known, it's less likely to happen, right? The market makers aren't there to be your friends; they're there to throw you off. That's where the money's made. Most markets are made to take money away from most people most of the time. That's what I learned.
Yes, and the psychology of the market always does the opposite of what the general consensus is. So if everyone's not expecting a Santa rally and we get one, think of all the amount of money we're going to be leaving behind. From just institutionals. Either way, they're gonna win in the end. So just that's why I tell my followers to make sure you have some exposure to Bitcoin before it's all gone.
Yes, definitely have some exposure. I think exposure to Bitcoin Cash too for anybody out there. Shout out to the Dragon Riders. On that note, though, all these lines right here, these are moments where, I mean, can you see where I've posted them is right before altcoins. This is the others chart. This is the crypto. For those of you that don't know, the others chart is basically like our altcoin index. It's like the S&P 500, but for altcoins. I put these vertical lines. This one's green, this one's red. It doesn't matter what the colors are. I was just messing around before this started, but this is every moment before altcoins really took off. Okay. And maybe we could have done one here as well. You know what? Maybe we could do one there as well, because relatively speaking, you were starting to see some growth in the markets right here, right? Every single one of these vertical lines, red or green, whatever, these are moments when altcoins really started to take off. You'll notice here was November. Here was January. Here was January. Here was March. Here was January. Here was October. Here was November. So every single time we've seen altcoins rally, it's been in Q4 or Q1. So to circle back to everything, right? No Santa Claus rally. I'm not with it. We haven't seen Q4 be bullish. I'm with you guys. No Santa Claus rally. But Q1 alt season, I think it's coded. I think it's programmed in there. I don't think we've seen growth like we have in January in a long time. And I think this January, especially with all the turmoil we've seen since December of 2024, I think we are deserving of a, and just because we deserve it doesn't mean it's going to happen, but I think that we are deserving of a bullish January or February, a bullish beginning to 2026. And typically, again, you look at these moments where altcoins really start to rally, where they go from their lull points to starting to move up. How many of these say January here? 1, 2, March right there, 3, you know, like 4 right there. Like that's typically. And then one last thing. I know I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry.
That's okay, man.
It's all good. It's all good.
January 2019, January 2021, January 2023, January 2025. I guess that's the only bad one. Never mind. Oh, you know what? It's going to be 2026. Never mind. I was going to say every odd January seems to be good, but that doesn't matter because it's 2026. So forget the last point. Everything else stands.
Well, while you got that chart up, I always tell my followers that it looks like our entire cycle run we had. Of course, we're in the post-halving year, the halving year, everything, all going back to 2022, right? It looks like it's just an extended bear market from 2015 to 2017 before the major breakout. Like, to me, it doesn't feel like we ever got a real run, and we have more runway left. Because I know you guys have probably heard of this theory before. We're following the business cycle, the empty money supply, liquidity in the markets aren't here. And typically the post-halving year is the year, of course, we get a new president, we get a new, so obviously all the spending happens. So this year we didn't get that amount of spending, that amount of liquidity. We didn't get a reset in the markets. We didn't get quantitative easing. And all the things that we typically see was held back because of the tariffs. And I made this point the other night. It's one of the few things I ever agree with Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren came out a few days ago and she said one of the major things that didn't happen was, of course, these rate cuts, which she agreed that we should have been cutting rates since the beginning of the year, but we haven't been able to because of the tariffs, and that's the reason why Jerome Powell, according to her, was held back by it. Obviously, there's some political things in there you can kind of read one way or the other, but yeah, I mean. It's clear, like, we would have already started this rally if the tariffs weren't such a big deal in March, just like we were, again, going back to 2021 cycle.
Yeah, I think Elizabeth Warren was only saying that, though, because she was running into an election against John Deaton, and it was the popular thing to say. But that's just me being a cynic, right? I don't know.
Well, I mean, she already beat him, I forget how many months ago, but yeah.
Shout out to C Stories there for the super chat. Thank you so much. Nice to see you all together. We love doing these, man. We love doing these, guys. The show is starting to really become popular. Like, people are always, people are always wanting to see. It's like watching your favorite TV shows when they do crossovers and stuff, right? It's pretty cool.
I had to beg Rob to come on because I was supposed to be on last week and I messed up. I had to beg. I was on my hands and knees, you guys. Thankfully, he let me back on, but he's not kidding. People really want to be on this show. I have fun every time, man. Genuine. I love meeting people like Crypto Otaku and Crypto Archie. Like, it's cool. Like, it gives us a chance to commingle, which I really appreciate as well.
Yeah, don't forget Max and Rue.
Max and Rue. Shout out to Max and Rue.
The reason I started the show in the first place, I don't know if I told you guys this, was, I mean, it's good. I wanted my followers primarily to not be stuck in an echo chamber, because I don't like people to say, well, Rob said this, so it's got to happen. Like, I like for people to come on and give, different opinions than what I think, or different perspectives on scenarios and stuff, because I don't run my channel on my ego, and I can be wrong. So it's like, I'm happy for someone to come on and go, hey, Rob, you know what? I see what you're saying, but like, here's what I'm saying. and this is why I disagree with you. And it's like, you know what? I appreciate that, because sometimes I don't see all angles. Sometimes everybody doesn't see all angles, right? So it's good for the people who follow the channel to have exposure to other perspectives and other opinions, not just mine, right? Because I'm not the end all know all on everything, right?
It's good to be open-minded that way too, because you're not going to learn anything if you're not humble.
Exactly.
I never learned anything with pride. That's at least I didn't learn it right, probably.
Yeah.
Shout out to Braveheart, says the crypto dream team. The bench is deep. Absolutely, it is.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Archie was a little bit disappointed afterwards. He's like, I was looking forward to talking to Cesar. I was interested to know his opinions on, because the market had developed further since the last time we talked, right? So
that would have been a good conversation, because I know we all three of us here see the markets differently, but I know me and Archie have different takes on positions. I'm curious if his positions change right now. I wonder, do you guys know if he still does he still think we're in a bear market, or has he changed that position at this point?
I think that he'll change his position if and when we reclaim the 50-week moving average.
That's fair. That was a pretty big catalyst. That's fair. Yeah, that makes sense.
He said he'll
imagine the sheer amount of pain and disbelief when if Bitcoin hits a new all-time high next year and not this year. I mean, that will officially be the end of the 4-year cycle as we know it. And I don't know about you guys, but I thought that was going to happen maybe like 2032, much down the road, but it's happening so much faster, it seems like, the accumulation of these assets.
So on that note, though, this is kind of like a forecast I have about the 4-year cycle, or specifically about the halving, because people are thinking 4-year cycle, halving, they're the same thing. If the 4-year cycle is broken, the halving doesn't matter. And a lot of people already think the halving doesn't matter because almost like 90%, over 90% of the supply is already out for Bitcoin. It's already mined. But the other half of that is every day, the amount of Bitcoin rewards that are getting rewarded to the miners who are keeping the blockchain running, who need to keep the lights on, who need to keep the energy bill running so that they can operate their miners. They're getting their rewards cut in half every 4 years. So even if the 4-year cycle goes away, it might not be a 4-year cycle, but the halving will still have an impact, a positive impact on the price of Bitcoin and therefore the markets, because of scarcity. Even if 90% of the supply is out there, the amount of profit as far as Bitcoin, in terms of Bitcoin that the miners are receiving, that gets cut in half every 4 years. Imagine if your gold miners are mining 1 ounce of gold, but it costs them $5,000 to mine 1 ounce of gold. The 1 ounce of gold is going to cost a lot more than $5,000. Now imagine they're mining that same gold, putting in that same effort, but now instead of getting an ounce, they're getting half an ounce. It's the price of gold is not going to go down because of that. It's only going to go up because the cost to produce, and that's the same thing with Bitcoin. As time, the 4-year cycle, if we are still in a bull market, and I think we are, at that point we have to admit it's dead. It is dead, or at least it doesn't matter as much as the liquidity the business cycle does. But
I was going to say, ask the miners.
I'm sorry, what?
When you said some people think the halving doesn't matter, I was going to say, ask the miners if it matters.
Exactly. No, exactly though.
Yes.
Year, for those of you who are new, this is literally, I've been in crypto since 2015, guys. Every single halving, there are miners all around the world, mining operations that have to shut down because they weren't put in the right position. They were not equipped with the right tools or the right funds, the right surplus, the right energy demands, whatever, to keep the lights on. So that happens. And if that affects miners every cycle, miners directly affect Bitcoin's capabilities like that. That has to affect the price to some degree. Supply and demand. You cut the supply in half every 4 years. It's not the total supply, but it's the supply being injected in the markets. And that, the cost to produce is generally what drives the cost of anything. Typically.
Yes. And the cost to produce right now is, I think, just a hair over 70,000, something like that.
It depends. Some miners, it depends. But yeah, something around there. I've heard some people are mining for like less than 60, even less than 50, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
I think the average might be like 52 or something like that. But
I don't
going
know.
into the halving and how it also matters. What do you think about the synthetic halvings happening with like the likes of Michael Saylor gobbling up everything that's been mined this year? I mean, the mining rewards this year, Bitcoin producing only 450 a day, only amounts to about 166,000 a year, and Michael Saylor's company alone is accumulated more than 180. I forget what. Now we might be we literally 190 or 200,000 Bitcoin he's already picked up this year alone, and of course we already know how much BlackRock's accumulated. How much of that is also not being considered into this synthetic halving into halving into halving? I mean, we've already 3x'd over with those two companies alone. With the traditional halving, it's also occurring on the back end.
I like your style, the synthetic halvings, the liquidity or the supply getting shocked basically. And we haven't seen the price react to that. That's the thing, guys. If you're going to afford to buy more Bitcoins in a year than there are Bitcoins produced in a year, I'm assuming you've got some friends in high places who are putting a lot of money on the line, right? But the price keeps going down. But why, if everybody says that, and this is where that cynicism comes from, Rob, right? If all this is happening, why is the price down? They don't care that the price is down. The more that the price is down, the more that you're going to panic sell to them. They want as much as they can get before it actually goes up. And that's these guys that are putting billions of dollars on the line. They're not the same as you who are putting hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, tens of thousands. They're not the same as people who are putting millions of dollars on the line. They have generational thoughts with this as far as how to build the wealth. It's not a short-term thing. So the fact that the price is red right now for a year, for 4 years, they don't care. That's a blink. That's a drop in the bucket as far as time goes. The reality is, again, let me say it for the people in the back. There have been, like you just said, Crypto Talker, there's been more Bitcoin purchased than produced this year. The price has gone down. That implies then that there are billions, hundreds of billions of dollars going into Bitcoin this year. Do you think that came from mom and pop? Do you think that came from retailers? That came from institutional money. That came from money that is patient, that understands the process. They see the price and they're like, that's not what it's worth. They know what it's worth. And they're not selling right now. They're accumulating. And that doesn't mean the price can't go lower, as we all know. But
they're playing chess, and the retail investors playing checkers at the end of the day. They've got the long-term mindset because they got the money. They don't care, like you said, about the flash crashes and the red days and stuff like that. It doesn't affect them. Like I wouldn't be shocked if these guys didn't even bother looking at their portfolios for months on end. They just buy this much Bitcoin every month. Who gives a shit what price it is? It's below $100,000, right? Just keep buying it because they know your Kathy Woods, your Tom Lees, your Michael Saylors. They know that at some point Bitcoin's going to be worth over $1 million a coin. So buying it below $100,000, they're going to have more than 10x their money minimum. They don't give a crap about this. Again, they're playing chess while the average retail investor is freaking out about the daily price action of it and getting upset, playing checkers, right? You should be accumulating over time and just being patient. I forgot what I was going to say. There was something else. Anyway, it'll come back to me.
Yeah, there's still people, out there saying that we're going to go down to 50K. We're gonna lose. Going all the way back on. I mean, we've never been over. Under. The previous all-time high after a presidential cycle. So it's like it's crazy how still early we are with the mindset of a lot of people that are just getting into crypto now, and they're gonna learn the hard way, I guess.
It's an interesting point. Somebody had asked me the other day if Bitcoin was ever going to see below, I think they said $50,000 again, and I said, well, when you go back in the history of Bitcoin, right? Like in 2017, what was the bottom? $3,000, and then it went up to 69, and then it fell back down to 15, and then it went up to so far 126. So we never saw 3,000 again after putting in a new all-time high, and then we came back down to 15. We never saw 15,000 again, right? Are we ever going to see 50? I mean, or like you just said, Otaka, are we going to see 69,000 again? That was the high from the previous cycle. Like, are we ever going to see the lows again? Well, we haven't yet, right? I mean, we've never gone back to the low of a previous cycle in a further cycle, if that makes sense. So, I mean, theoretically, right? Well, at least that means to me, we'll at least at this point never see $15,000 again, right?
Yeah.
What
Maybe
about
like World War III or some sort of extinction event to occur.
Yeah, even that. I mean, not so sure. Like
you
with
could,
all these institutions and treasuries, and one positive thing that I would argue though is for altcoins is that we're starting to see a lot of, over the last 2 months, we're seeing a lot of outflows of the spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs, and a lot of capital flowing into the spot Solana and XRP ETFs, which is not new capital coming in, right? It's just money rotating from Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's not a coincidence that outflows for, I mean, what does XRP spot ETF put in now? Like 19 days straight of inflows or something?
It was like $1 billion, right, on the first few days. Yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right. We're getting this capital rotation. They're rediversifying some of these, old money, right? This is the only way they know how to invest, and they're just gonna, again, maybe take some of their, advice from, people that know crypto better than they do, and rotate into some of these other big players. But I think it's just old money moving old money around.
if old money is moving old money around, are they going to put it in brand new projects, or are they going to put it in coins that have been around for a while, that have seen bear markets, that have operated under high pressure, have had faults, but have built and had they're not just here and then gone? Because a lot of this space, I mean, if you've been in any bull cycle before, the top 100 coins that are there right now are not the same top 100 coins in the next cycle. And it's like 90% different.
Yeah, you can't even recognize it anymore.
Yeah,
from last cycle.
like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, those ones have
Bitcoin
always
Cash
there,
was
right?
in the top 10 before. I mean, it's almost there again.
I think it is right now. Actually, it depends on how you look at it. If you consider stable coins a crypto, then no, it's not in the top 10. But if you took out USDC and USDT, Bitcoin Cash is number 9 right now, but it's number 11 with the stables in there.
Yeah, I don't count stables.
Litecoin, Litecoin too has fallen quite a bit, but it climbed its way back up as well.
I think coins exactly like Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Dogecoin, even, because memes have actually proven themselves to have value and to grow.
Yes, it's funny you mentioned that, because the United States sees that. The White House came out with that maturation document where it said, like, the most mature assets right now in the top 10 are 20, and Doge was more mature than XRP on their list.
That's funny. It's funny, but that's the thing too, is Doge isn't just a meme, it's the meme. It's the one that opened up the Pandora's box for meme coins. Like that, it is an institution of memes. And if institutional money's getting in, they might just put 1% or 0.5%. Like they might have fun with that. And especially with the prospects that Doge might be involved with Tesla or anything to do with Elon Musk, like a risky institution, which that doesn't really exist. But like if they're more risk on, they might venture out to coins like Doge or Bitcoin Cash or Litecoin or Monero or Cardano, even, coins that have been here, that have had disbelief, that were dead, quote unquote, projects, but they were still building anyways. And they have a what's the word, like a usable blockchain, a usable system, usable product, something like that. Yeah.
Well, to answer your question, I was thinking that before, I was thinking that institutions would back the meme coins that, for one, had spot ETFs, but moving forward, now that the SEC has put in this, easy process to get a spot ETF for altcoins, just a certain criteria, I guess, you have to meet. I think that 12 months from now, there's probably going to be hundreds and hundreds of spot ETFs, and it's going to be a nothing burger moving forward for altcoins, because every altcoin's going to have, they're just going to fill out the proper forms, and there you go, on paper you've got yourself a spot ETF, and now it doesn't really mean anything anymore, right? We're going to be numb to it, just like everything else in crypto. Eventually we get numb to it, right?
And ETFs are not permanent. They can dissolve. They're not here for it. Not all of them are. There's plenty of ETFs that they have to close down. They stop operating, and just that does happen too. So don't think that, just like Rob was saying, it's not going to be that special. Don't think that cements anything as permanent. ETFs are not permanent. So an ETF getting approved for, I don't know, Ethereum Classic, for example, doesn't mean Ethereum Classic is here to stay. Though, I think Ethereum Classic might have some growth to go as well, potentially.
Yeah, if it doesn't have a level of profitability for the institution, whether it's BlackRock or whoever, then they're just going to get rid of it, right? I mean, so
Well, on the other side of that coin, with new money investing and not old money, more or less just running into the ETFs. What do you guys think about the Coin Market Cap's index? Their index fund. It's got the top 20 assets rolled into one thing, and they update it every month. You guys are familiar with that?
Yeah, I think
cool.
it's good, but I think it's going to eventually be a nothing burger as well. What were you going to say, Cesar?
I was just saying, I think it's cool. It might. I don't fully understand it. I don't know. Top 20, like why the top 20? I guess I get, because those are coins that a lot of these. You look in the top 20. Right now, most of these coins that are in the top 20, they've been here for multiple cycles, right?
But I guess it's made for exposure to long-lasting capital, right? So you have your safe bets like Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then everything else is just volatility, So excluding obviously stable coins, but yeah, it's an interesting product.
It says its market cap is 6.6 million. So what?
Yeah,
like
if baby.
if you put like $10 million in there, though, does that increase the price, or does that get distributed? They create more tokens to balance out the fund.
To buy those, yes, to buy those assets, and then yep.
So the market cap will go up, the amount of tokens will go up, but the price won't go up or down. It'll just stay fixed to whatever the index of those top 20 are.
Yep, and I think there's a rollover period after a month. They'll shuffle what's in and out.
That makes sense. No, that makes sense. They should. Every month they should, because things come and go in the top 20.
Yeah, I've really taken a liking to it. I wish it was there before I helped one of my friends set up his long-term portfolio. He was going through a bankruptcy, and he can't touch his funds for 4 to 8 years, or however long it takes to complete this bankruptcy. So I basically set him up a portfolio with the top 10 assets, excluding, of course, stable coins, and then a few for volatility. And I really wish that product was there, because that would have been perfect. You wouldn't have done nothing. It would cycle in and out of what he needed, have exposure to it.
What kind of bankruptcy?
I'm personal.
Chapter 11? Is it?
Yeah, Chapter 11, yeah.
Okay.
Braveheart dropping some knowledge on us here. Says to tell you one thing. We have a member in our Patreon, or in our community, literally called D's Nuts. And every time she drops, she gifts out memberships and stuff, so that I'll keep saying D's Nuts. Like, make sure everyone shows their undying appreciation to D's Nuts for the gifted membership.
That's funny.
It's a good time.
Shout out to D's Nuts.
Shout out to D's Nuts. Yeah. The three best dudes online. Thanks for all you do. Otaku, Cesar, and Rob. Watch you guys each and every day. You three will make me the 10%er, not a 90%er. Absolutely.
You'll be a 1%er, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Attila. You're already a 1%er. Stop kidding, man.
I got the Russell here on the screen, because I just wanted to show that. Just one more argument for a potential altcoin season here. On the daily time frame, we've finally broken above and put a new all-time high, but now we're retesting as support. If we can establish this as support, it's potential we could take off on risk on assets, right? I mean, you guys are familiar with the Russell, right? Obviously. Yeah. So, I mean, usually when the Russell takes off, the total 2 usually takes off, or total 3, whichever you prefer, right? Usually takes off with it. So, I mean, there's just one more argument to be made.
The Russell, for those of you who don't know, it's like kind of like your altcoin market in the stock markets. It's kind of like your altcoin index is how I would look at it. Like, you have your S&P and you have the Russell. when the Russell's going up, like Rob said, that typically implies risk on. But we're seeing that happen across every damn ecosystem in the world except for crypto.
Yes.
Yeah, it definitely can be frustrating. And I understand how a lot of people can be frustrated, but I've often said that everyone has feelings in crypto. Everybody, myself, everybody. Some days I wake up and the first thing I do is I walk by my monitor and I see the bubbles on the screen and they're all red and I just want to flip the table, right? I mean, everyone has that feeling, right? It's like scam, right?
That's a new table, Rob. I know you flipped it.
But the thing is, it's the choices that we make and how we conduct ourselves in this space that determine our success or failure in this space, I find, right? I mean, in my first cycle, everyone had a first cycle. I paid my dues. I went through all the ups and downs and flash crashes and expected pumps but get dumps instead, all that bullshit that that you go through, all the emotions, all the fear, all the uncertainty and stuff. But one thing I wasn't doing is I wasn't putting the caps lock on and hate typing all over people's YouTube channels or X things and taking stomping my feet and pulling temper tantrums. And I remained consistent and I remained dedicated and patient, right?
Don't forget humble.
And yeah, and I'm the most humble guy you'll ever meet. I challenge you to find someone more humble than me, right?
I am the most humble. Nobody is more humble.
If you look up humble in the dictionary, I'm number one.
Me, nobody else.
But again, I say to people, you dress for the job you want, not the job you have, right? You don't see the most successful investors in the world online hate posting because the stock market's not going the way they want it to or something like that, right? If you want to be a successful person in any field, well, you have to conduct yourself the same way that professionals, people who have already succeeded, you might want to study how they behave and conduct yourself in the same way, right? Getting stuck in high school girl locker room drama and hate posting online is some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Like, how much money are you making doing that? The answer is zero. So why are you wasting your time, energy, and resources on it?
Right? Well, maybe tell that to Peter Schiff because he still won't stop.
Yeah. You guys, I have a conspiracy about Peter Schiff. You ready?
Oh boy, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Peter
Schiff, he's probably owned Bitcoin before any of us here have. He's probably got more Bitcoin than any of us. What? Imagine if you were to do it right. Okay. First off, nobody would know you have Bitcoin. Nobody would know. You wouldn't be a public space. You wouldn't be a public face at all. You might even hate Bitcoin, right? You might even outwardly hate it. Nobody would suspect you have it. Who's this wallet that's tied to a bank account in whatever island offshore? Like what? They're not going to associate it with you. They can't come to you with gains or anything like that. When I say they, I mean people trying to get you in maybe legal trouble for avoiding things. That there are people who are aware of how things work in this world. And if you want to, I'm phrasing this improperly. Let me just say anonymity has its value. And there are intelligent people who are aware of this. And Peter Schiff is not a dummy. He's a smart person. There's no way, there's zero chance he believes everything he says about Bitcoin. He'd have to be dumb. And he is not dumb. He's absolutely not dumb. So I think he's smart. I think he's like Kramer, right? Like Kramer,
oh, damn, yes.
He's always wrong, but I think he's wrong intentionally so that like if there's any kind of tax things that come back to him, he's like, well, I didn't make money on this. You can see, here's my call, and it went down. It went down right here. I lost money on this. Here's my deductions on my tax. I don't know. With crypto, you can be anonymous to a certain degree, even with Bitcoin to a certain degree, especially in the OG days, but. If you have a wallet that's not associated with an exchange account or something like that, and I don't know, Peter Schiff, he's got to have some Bitcoin, man. That's my biggest crypto conspiracies. I think Peter Schiff owns more Bitcoin than the average Bitcoiner.
I got a bigger conspiracy. I believe that maybe Peter Schiff is Satoshi, and that's why he's going to these conventions. How can you lose? How can you lose?
Peter and Gary had tea and crumpets and they made Bitcoin at a cafe.
JP Morgan and Jamie Dimon, same thing. You guys have probably seen this, but I'm gonna play it for you.
On September 12th, Jamie Dimon says Bitcoin is a fraud. He says he'll fire any one of his traders buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin drops 24%. When Jamie Dimon speaks, people listen. So that weekend, we found out that the largest buyer of a Bitcoin fund that's in Europe that buys physical Bitcoin, right? The largest buyer was Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan. And that's not illegal.
He says it's a fraud.
He says he'll fire anyone that buys it.
Yes. And at the same time, his company is buying.
His company is buying.
It's just, so unethical.
Right.
And that's why we say, guys, don't listen to what they say. Put your pennies where they put their dollars. Everything they say is lip service. It's word salad. It's a fugazi. It doesn't mean anything, right? So, yeah. McNerney, 3 of my top 5 views of the year are together. Did Xmas come early? Appreciate you guys. Nice. My dude. Jake the Snake says, I heard the red guy's name is Taco Man or something. Oh, here we go. Guys, undying gratitude. Get on your knees and say thank you. Show your appreciation to D's Nuts for the memberships.
Shout out to D's Nuts.
I love D's Nuts. Absolutely.
I love these little nuts.
You got to have balls of steel when you live in crypto.
Yes. Steel nuts.
Yeah.
These little brass nuts.
So yeah, it's the same thing. Like I remember Jamie Dimon going on. I was watching a thing. Jamie Dimon was on national television. Same thing, calling. I think it was when he called Bitcoin a pet rock. I think it was that week. J.P. Morgan had tripled their digital asset department. Right? Like, what the hell, man? How is that stuff not illegal? You know. And then you've got it was Jamie Dimon, right? He puts in a short on Strategy, last month, and then goes out and says that Strategy is going to go bankrupt. Right? Knowing his influence on the market.
We also had the MSCI also come out right before the. I think it came out the same day as the October 10th. Maybe it was the day after. It was completely like everyone. They wouldn't even talk about it. It was very quiet until about 5 days later.
Yeah, like how is that guy not being held responsible for if he knows damn well his influence on financial markets. For him to put in a massive short on a company and then go on national television and say that company is going to go bankrupt, that's an attempt at market manipulation, in my opinion. You're trying to make some money, man. Right?
Yeah. Look at. Can I show you something?
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you this here real quick. Allow. Where are we at? Where? I have to move it. Yeah, it's over here. This one. Do you see this?
Yep.
You guys there? Yep. Yeah. Okay. So open interest total by expiry. So this is MicroStrategy's call options, put options. This is like it's open interest data. I did all the expiries. So this is going out to January 2021 or January 2028. The two biggest columns here, which you can see barely, but there is more green on each of these. You see that little box that says put to call ratio for anybody watching this. When you want that put to call ratio to be above a 1. When it's below a 1, that means that there are more calls than puts, which means there's more people long than there are short. Historically, traditionally, on average, when we're net long and there's less shorts, we move down. But when we're net short and there's less longs, we move up. So right now we're in the phase where we move down. December 19th, which is this next week, is one of the biggest expirations as far as total options, open, calls and puts go. And then January 16th as well. I really wouldn't be surprised, guys, again, tying into this whole thought about the RSI on the daily time frame and how every time since 2023, and not just every time, but most times throughout Bitcoin's history, that we've hit this low level in the RSI, and we typically move sideways for 30 to 60 days. If we move sideways for 60 days, 30 to 60 days, just under 60 days from the 21st of November, that would be January 16th. That would be when these calls and these options, these puts and calls all expire. And these things have been open for a long time. This keeps getting added to, because when December 19th comes around and expires, they roll over, they roll over, they roll over. And it'll make for one hell something around January 16th that week. And then after, I think that might be when the genie's out of the bottle. That might be when alt season starts, because these are getting, that's just something I've noticed, and something I noticed earlier this year. And I'm like, there's no way we're not going to wait till 2016 or January 16, 2026. That's not going to happen. But we're here now.
That's
I
perfect.
think
Yes, that's perfect.
It might be something to watch, something there. This is on optioncharts.io for anybody that's curious. They're not the most reliable. They're not 100% accurate, but they're pretty good. It's free. You don't have to pay for it. If you want to, there's paid services that are more accurate, but it's still pretty accurate. But I just thought I'd show that there. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Zemzito. Yeah, I'm hoping that part 1 of the 3-part Jasmine documentary will be released next week. I'm not hoping, it will be released next week. The first of a 3-part documentary series. I'm probably going to release one part a week for 3 weeks. So I'm not going to drop all 3 parts on the same day. I got to make you wait for it, man. Right?
It's good business there, man.
Yeah. It's coming, though. It's coming. I know people have been waiting a long time, but you have to understand it is a 3-part documentary series, filming an entire trip, other content creators' input on the situation and stuff like that, all being edited right now at my editors. So I mean, it takes time. I can't just flop it out, the second I get back from Japan, right? So you want it done right, or you want it done good, or quick, or whatever. You know what I mean?
I want it done right, and I want it done good.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that one pop off, Rob.
Yeah, I'm hoping that a lot of other Jasmine content creators can at least use a lot of the clips from my interview with Hara and from the trip and stuff like that, and it can get some maybe get some momentum behind the project, because there's been just too much negativity and stuff because of a lack of price action. But you have to understand, guys, there's a lot of crypto projects out there, a lot of altcoins that do a similar thing. They do what's nothing for what feels like forever, and then they explode 300%, 400%, 500%. Onyx coin is another one that's like that. You can go 10 months of just nothing, and then wham. We saw it with Zcash. Zcash did that for 1,200 days, and then went parabolic, right?
We saw it with XRP, with Stellar Lumens. We've seen it. We saw it with Zen Horizon. If anybody knows Zen, I think. Damn, what was it that I was going to say, man? I can't remember. There was something there. I can't remember. Whatever. I'll remember it in a second.
Shout out to Chris. Thank you so much, brother.
Shout out to Chris.
What do we got here? Blake says, Cesar, you should collab with Shook. Focus on XCN video.
All right.
You know Shook, right?
I feel like I do. I think I've watched a video of yours. I think I've watched one of these and he was on here, or either that or I've just seen him somewhere else. But
yeah, I think 2 weeks ago he was on. Maybe we'll do.
I think I commented. I think I literally commented on that live stream. I said hi. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I think I said hi during that live stream.
Maybe we'll do an XCN focused blockchain buzz in a couple weeks. I'll get Shook and you, and we'll have a XCN powwow.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Speaking of XCN, what do you think about that Robinhood listing? That was pretty big for Robinhood, because they only have 50 assets.
Dude, I didn't see that coming. I anybody who says XCN's a scam, that to me, I'm like,
yeah.
Scoreboard. All right, it's a scam. Yeah, all this shit's going on though. Yeah, we're listed on some of the biggest exchanges in the world with Coinbase and Robinhood. Yeah. These guys are selective. Robinhood doesn't just if they've just brought on anything, how come they're so selective? Vlad must know the team behind Onyx Coin or behind Chain, whatever. Like, and that's something else I was saying. A lot of people don't.
Yeah, they
like,
might be already invested. I didn't think about that. Yeah,
they
might be already heavily invested.
Well, but they have to be, right? Like, you have to, if you're an exchange listing, you have to have some tokens.
Yeah,
like,
you have to have, yes.
You know, like, you got to have some. And that's what's wild is they list now at these lows. Has Robinhood been accumulating this whole time? You know, like even in the face of this selling pressure, they've been accumulating. Like, who have you been selling to? If you've been selling all this time, you've been selling to Robinhood.
Yeah.
That gets me excited. You know, because clearly they just listed. They didn't start buying yesterday. If they started buying yesterday, Robinhood, I mean, they would have shot the price up a lot. They had to have been accumulating for a while. Maybe they started accumulating back last year. Maybe they're part of why that big spike happened in January. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, I have no idea.
For all of you who are watching that don't understand kind of what we mean if you're newer to crypto, so whenever an exchange like Robinhood or Coinbase or Binance or whomever, right? Whenever they list a new project, usually what happens is one of two things. They'll ask the crypto project, the devs behind the team, to give them tokens so that they can have a supply to list, right? So that people can buy from them. But in most cases, what happens is the exchange has to accumulate the tokens themselves over time, right? Whenever you see the massive crashes and stuff like that, you can bet your bottom dollar that the exchanges are accumulating tokens, and then that's why you see these big wallets sometimes from like Coinbase or Binance or whomever, and they're holding like a massive supply of XCN. In this case, Robinhood. It's because they're getting ready to list it, but they're accumulating over time, right? And that's why it's harder for projects like Caspa, for example, that are fair launch projects, and there's no team to give coins to. Well, then the exchange does have to go out for sure and buy 100% of the tokens that they're going to list on their exchange, right? So that's the process behind it anyway.
Unfortunately, too, for the Caspa people, like, I feel like Jamie Dimon, was it Jamie? Not Jamie Dimon, Larry Fink, BlackRock, getting involved with mining Caspa, right? Like, that might turn off whenever the news came out that that BlackRock had been mining Caspa. That might have turned off the idea for other exchanges to acquire Caspa for listing themselves, because it's like, oh, they're mining it. Oh, we're just getting this news now. Okay, so it's at its top. Not saying that exchanges won't acquire it. There are probably several exchanges acquiring Caspa as it's dropping now. I think Caspa's probably going to have it had one of the best bull cycles in the last 4 years out of all of crypto. I mean, it had the best bull cycle, I think. It's just had its own bear market too. It's been rather disappointing for anybody who didn't see that coming, who's expecting it to do well, but what crypto hasn't been disappointing, in all fairness.
Yeah.
That happened like a few months ago, didn't it? When that came out? BlackRock?
No, that news is old. That news is like a year old. Like a year and a half old even. I don't know. Like, so it's been,
I can't remember when that happened.
It came out at like the highs. It came out at the highs, and time moves weird, but it came out around the highs, and that's what I was like
January, December last year, November maybe.
Let me look. I bet if I like looked up one of my videos, like, it had to have been, no, man, like no. It would have been like June or July, I think, 2024. Maybe it was December last year. Maybe it was. I want to say it was June, July, or August, somewhere in there, but sometime in those topping areas. And of course,
I remember covering it and just like, where the hell did that happen? This whole year feels like a blur. When
we hear that news, that's not new news, right? The people at the top, they've been doing it for months. Like, when you hear they're mining, they are probably offloading. When you hear that they're offloading, they probably already offloaded and now they're onboarding. You know, like they're taking in. So that's how it is. By the time you hear that an institution is a part of something, they've been a part of it for months or years at that point, right? Like, that's
the news is basically just exit liquidity.
Yeah, like Jay. For those of you that don't know, too, do you guys know little crypto history for you guys? For anybody that doesn't know, 4 out of 5 of the top banks in the world, 4 out of 5, and 3 out of those 4 are all in America, but 4 out of 5 of the top banks in the world, they've been invested in cryptocurrency, in the crypto market, specifically Bitcoin. I want to say since 2015 or 2017. So just so you guys are aware of how things are and how we hear or don't hear about things, right? Like most people don't talk about that. Visa has been using their own crypto to do transactions to secure their payments since 2018. Nobody's heard about every Visa transaction you do is on a blockchain. It's true. They have every time it's a token. That's literally what it does. Since 2018, that's been the thing. They've actually diminished billions of dollars in fraud because of that. But they still charge the same, right? Because again, we're not at that point where people are telling you, all right, 4 out of 5 of the banks, top 5 banks in the world are fully invested. We're all fully invested. Visa's using blockchain. It's not public information because by the time it is public information, it's too late. That's how you know you're still early, because they're doing this quote unquote in the dark and secret. They're not. It is public information, but it's not something that people talk about regularly. It's not something that's like making headline news that everyone's talking about. When it is headline news, that might be a time where you might want to step back from the markets. But just a little fun fact for you there. Yeah, 4 out of 5 of the top banks, and 3 out of those 4 were American banks, have been invested in Bitcoin since I want to say 2015, but maybe it's 2017. But somewhere, yeah, since that era, since then.
Yeah. Well, it seems like it's a general consensus that we need to, maybe next month, maybe for January, we'll get you and Shook on, and we'll do an XCN exclusive blockchain buzz episode. So everybody seems to want it. So,
all right, that sounds cool to me. Yeah, we could use it. The XCN community could use a little spark, a little life. We could, because it's been hard, man. It's been a rough. Nobody's having a good time, all right. But we're still optimistic, anyways. Because again, the thing is, XCN compared to Bitcoin, guys, XCN's up 120% this year. Bitcoin's down this year, right? To put it in perspective, like it just depends. And if you've been holding this whole time, if you've been staking, you've in that time you've made like 30% APR or like 20-something percent APR. Like you've
a big part of my Patreon community are staking. I have been for like a year. Yeah.
Bro, imagine you're staking 1 million tokens for XCN right now. It's like $5,500, $5,200, something like that. 1 million tokens. It's not a small amount of money. Not everybody has that, and I understand that, but it's doable. It's doable. It's much more doable than $90,000 Bitcoin, right? 1 million tokens pays you out, I think, around 800 tokens a day.
That's insane.
Imagine XCN goes to $1, which it's very, very possible that it could go to $1, even multiple dollars. You guys, you're making $700-800 a day if you time it right. If you're staking and you time it right? Let alone if you have more. Right? If you're staking more, you can. And it's all about patience. It's all about. But that's the thing too. I mean, that going to $1, we're at half a cent right now. That's a long journey. You have to have conviction to get you there. Otherwise, you'll sell at 10 cents or 5 cents or 8 cents. And maybe that's good. Take profits. Never be afraid to take profits. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but the difference between somebody who gets a 100x and a 10x, sometimes the only difference is who held longer. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not who chose the right project. It's who held longer. And to hold longer, you need conviction. Do your research. And with Shook, I think we can do some fundamental back and forth with all of us and really just like get people excited about why we're all excited about XCN, why we believe in it. Like that's
absolutely.
Yeah.
Jasmine Crypto says, what do you think about Jasmine after the visit? I walked away from that, and you're going to understand why when you watch my interview with Hara. I walked away from that trip far more bullish on Jasmine than I ever was before, because here's the thing about Hara you have to understand. I've watched every AMA, every appearance that he's done over the last 3 years, right? And he does a lot. Hara has a habit of, he'll drop a bomb on you without realizing he's dropping a bomb on you, right? Like he'll say something that should be its own announcement by itself, and he'll just nonchalantly say it in a conversation because I don't think he gets how big of a deal it is, right? And he does that at least 2 or 3 times in my conversation with him. And you're going to understand later. You're going to have to listen closely to what he says because, again, he's very nonchalant. And you're going to have to sit there and go, wait, did he just say what I think he just said? And you're going to have to rewind it, and you're going to have to watch it again. Because I promise you, he does drop a couple of bombs in there that you're not really going to believe. And you're going to sit there and go, why is he saying it so like it's a nothing, like it doesn't mean anything? because he doesn't get that in itself should be a massive announcement. There are some big, massive announcements that he talks about involving the monitoring zone, like the innovation zone on Binance, involving stuff like ETFs, all kinds of stuff, guys, that you're not going to want to miss. And I'm telling you right now, right?
Wait, say that again, though, Crypto Future. Say that again, Rob.
You're making my palms sweat.
Which part?
Just say it again. So I want to make sure I understood what you just said. Say it one more time. That last part, please.
Well, he talks. He drops bombs about the innovation zone in Binance and with Jasmine being in there, and he also drops bombs about spot ETFs, things like that.
When you say innovation zone with Binance, what do you mean? Can you elaborate?
The monitoring zone. You know what the monitoring zone on Binance is?
Monitoring. No, I don't know what you mean.
Okay, so that is so basically, yeah, that's a big deal in the Jasmine community. So Binance has a zone, a section that they call the monitoring zone or the innovation zone, and it's where that they put projects that they say are suspicious or sketchy or whatever the case might be, right? Well, they put Jasmine in the monitoring zone back in, I believe, 2022, and everyone freaked out because they didn't really give a clear explanation as to why, right? They just put it there and kind of plopped. And it's a whole thing, but I'll try to summarize it. Binance tried to come out with a project called Greenleaf. I want to say Greenleaf, which which tries to do the same thing that Jasmine does, while at the same time suppressing Jasmine by putting it into the monitoring zone. So you came out with a competitive product and then suppressed your competition, essentially, right?
And they do that.
Made a lot of people angry, obviously. So we've been waiting quarterly for years to get out of the monitoring zone or the innovation zone. And there is a massive update on that. And it all ties into the existence of Junction and the entire ecosystem, like the JCT token. So yeah, basically the price has been suppressed because of that for a very, very long time because of the manipulation of Binance. So
I'm looking at
they've been holding that over our head for such a long time now. It's just normal.
I'm looking at this Jasmine chart on the daily, and I got to say I like it here. Actually, I think you guys are due for a pop. Like maybe you dip a little more from here, but you're due for some type of move back, probably around 1 cent or higher soon.
Yeah, I mean we're almost at half a penny, and that's kind of where we started this entire run. I mean we haven't been at half a penny since what, 2023, 2022.
Yeah. we deserve it.
On a large scale, like on the weekly time frame, the chart really doesn't look that bad. That double bottom was wicked. That was awesome, but you got the double top to answer. I think you're at a really good place to accumulate Jasmine for sure. Like if you were looking to anybody out there, if you're looking to invest in Jasmine, it's probably at a good price to buy. I mean, hold on, just real quick. I'm just looking real quick. Let me see. Yeah, man, I think you're there. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know much about the fundamentals. You know more, Rob. I'm going to watch your documentary. Shout out to Godzilla. But with the laser eyes, man.
Rob went to Japan. He brought Godzilla back with him.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Otaku's actually coming with me to the Bitcoin conference in Vegas in April.
April 2026. Yes. Don't forget your tickets. Don't get them at the door. You'll pay way more at the door.
I would go. I have a vacation lined up around like a week. It's like a week or two after that, and we're going on a cruise and stuff. So, on that note, by the way,
I thought I remembered hearing you say in one of your videos a while ago that you moved to the state of Colorado, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm in Colorado. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I'm actually going to be in Colorado for East Denver. Cool. We should make some content, man.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Hell yeah.
I can make it.
That's not a far drive at all. That's like I can make it there easy.
Nice. I already got my tickets booked and everything. I purchased my tickets to East Denver, so let's get it done.
Dope. Let's do it. Yeah, definitely.
What else do we have? Gamma Goddess says, thank you, Rob, Otaku, and Caesar. This is amazing. We do have that effect.
Thank you, Gamma Goddess.
Yes. Thank you, Gigi.
Attila says he's made about 7.5 million Onyx coin through staking rewards. That's crazy.
You must either have a lot of Onyx coin. Well, you probably do, but you've probably been staking for a while. Like 7.5 million. What if you've been staking for a year? I mean, even if you had 1,000 coins a day, you have to make more. You know how much? Like 10,000 a day times 10 is 100,000 times 100. You got to have. At that point, then you got to have over 10 million Onyx coins. You probably have like 20 million Onyx coins or more, bro. Then this person, whoever that is, good job.
Don't dump on us, bro.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely not in the top 10, man. You're definitely in the top 1%.
Uncle Kindle says XCN listing on Robinhood, big deal, but no one's talking about it. Well, we're gonna put together XCN exclusive blockchain buzz episode. We're gonna have Shook on, we're gonna have Caesar on, and we're gonna talk some Onyx coin, man. We're gonna try to get the hype up. These nuts strikes again. That's what she said.
Yeah, Z-Bag to $3. I don't know. Greenfield, yes, that's it.
Greenfield, that's what it's called. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's gonna be a good documentary. But anyway, guys, I'm doing the pee dance. I gotta get out of here. Drink a lot of water today.
I need to drink some water, man.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'll contact both of you guys. We'll get you both booked back in there. I figure there's probably not going to be much more this month. I mean, the 20th and the 27th are the next 2 Saturdays, and it's kind of like right around Christmas, right? I might do one more next week, but after that, probably take a break until January. So yeah, we'll get. I mean, hopefully you guys want to get booked back in, anyways.
I want to come
of course.
back. I won't be able to do something like this probably until like after the first week of January, though. Too, I'm pretty booked up for the rest of the year. I mean, I'll be doing videos every day, but I don't know if I'll be able to do that and this. You know what I mean? Like, probably not until after the first week. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, first in January. Yeah. Everyone's got to kind of step back for the holidays, family, all that stuff. I know you got little ones there too, and
yeah. Oh man, it's the best, man. It's the best.
Absolutely, brother.
You guys aren't going to stop for the holidays. The institutions.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. All right, guys.
Isn't that so weird that the Santa rally is like a thing, but institutions are not around during this time? Like, who's going to pump the markets? The institutions are taking a break.
Yeah, Saudi princes. I don't know, sultans. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's retail. While the cat's away, the mice will play, right?
There you go. Yeah. That's screwy. That's why we're seeing screwy price action, though. The cat is away. The mice are. It's easier to push. You like literally. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you again. If I don't see you again, have a great Christmas, guys.
Peace.
You too. Enjoy the holidays.
All right,
Merry Christmas. Care. Yeah. Happy holidays.